Hello, hello, beautiful people. It is Major here, my mama's favorite hope dealer, and I want to welcome you to the Hope in Between, the podcast with Major and my good sister, Eunice Elliott. Eunice, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling good. I
Hmm.
think I'm over the sinus infection I had last week and
Yes.
exhausted, tired, but it's a good exhaustion. It's a
Yeah.
difference. And so it's a very good, well earned exhaustion. What about you? How are you feeling?
I am I guess the same. It's wild. It's wild. I
Yeah.
I think I'm there too. Been busy, but productive busy.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I think often people mix up busy and productive, often as being synonymous. But if your
Right.
busyness doesn't have productivity, it's useless energy. It's wasted energy. But anyway,
No,
let's
I
get
think we're conditioned. No, let me say something about that. I think
okay.
we're
Okay.
conditioned. I think most people are conditioned to stay busy and you feel bad if you're not busy, but you're not encouraged or conditioned to be productive, right? And so you're going to work, you're going to school, you're doing all the things. And then one day you look up, like, what have I done with my life? You haven't been productive, but you've been busy the whole time. I think
Yeah.
that's all part of the master plan, as I say, to keep you distracted from what you were born to do, what you were created
Mhm.
to do is everybody's been
Yeah.
busy, but not productive.
You're on it. You're on it. Well, to arrest any unhealthy idea of just being busy, let's go ahead and do something that centers us in the right now, the wealth of the present moment, and that is to catch our breath. So, on the count of three, we're going to take a deep breath in, and then we're going to let it out. One, two, three. Take it in, let it out. All right, once more. One, two, three. Take it in, let it out. And this time, I want you to take all of your worry, all of your concerns, all of the pulls, the tugs, the agitation, the frustration, the triumph, the gladness, all of the things that pull and require of you. Take a deep breath in, take it all in. Now let it out. That right there is surrender. It is the letting go of things beyond your control and allowing yourself to simply be in the fullness of life, in the fullness of the present moment, for you to enjoy the goodness that is there for you. You have to be available to it. Stop holding on to the hypothetical of what is and what could possibly be. Just open yourself up so that you can receive what is coming to you, what is working for you. That is a gift of the present. The present is the present. Yeah. Ah.
Yeah.
So listen, let's talk about this weekend, the week thus far. How has it been treating you? Do tell, Eunice. Come on with it.
Well, I am still on tour. And
Yes, you are.
last weekend we were in the Pacific Northwest. We were in Washington State and in Oregon. And it felt like forever to get there from the East Coast, from Alabama to there. It took like 18 days, it felt like. But, it's really cool to go to these places I've never been to before and to be so well received and celebrated and championed. And so, more great shows. We have a couple of weeks off, which is going to be amazing. And
Hmm.
then we wrap up the year in Florida. So looking forward to having some time off. It's really that thing where when you have that time off, it really makes you appreciate the grind that you get to
Yeah.
do. When you get a moment to step back and you're like, oh, I missed it. Where's my flight? Where's my baggage? And so I look forward to missing it. But then I'm sure by the time December comes, I'll be ready to go back.
You
What
like put
about
me
you?
back on that road. That
I know,
listen.
because you know what? One, that's how I get paid money. So that's number one.
Hmm.
But two, Yeah, it's something that is just really, I don't think the term is awe-inspiring, but there's something very affirming to be able to make people laugh, to be able to make people smile, to make people feel seen. I do, I'll tell you this, you've seen my show before. I do a chin hair joke about being an older woman in chin hair.
Yes.
And it's a thing. And when I tell you, I have so many women from all over the country now sending me pictures of their chin. Hey, look at this one. I thought of you. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want that. I do not want that.
Oh
But,
my gosh.
they feel seen and celebrated. And the thing, I've had people send me notes and say, I've been so self-conscious about this and you make me laugh about it now. And so that's just a beautiful thing. So yeah, women all over the country are thinking about me every time they pluck a chin hair. I'm like, let's go, girl. Get that thing out so we can go outside.
Listen, yes, please pluck them. Please
Pluck
pluck
them.
them. Now,
Pluck
now
them.
there comes a time when you get to an age where it's too tedious to try to pluck all that comes. But while you have your strength and the
Listen,
activity
so
of
this
your
is the
limbs,
thing. But
may
you
want to
realize as an
wait,
adult,
let me say it. While you have your strength and the activity of your limbs,
he's
pluck
begging us, ladies.
them.
He's
I'm
begging us.
begging you to use the activity of your limbs to pluck and pull. To identify, pluck, pull. Identify, pluck,
Or
pull.
ladies, if you don't, you don't. But if you don't, you don't. But as an older woman, it's funny because now I remember growing up and in the circus there was the bearded lady, and you realize now like she had no talent. You know,
I beg to differ because wasn't she bearded for that? Da, 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 da. This is me, Hugh Jackman. What's the movie? What's the
no idea.
movie?
No
You know
idea.
what I'm talking about. It was about the circus acts, all
Okay,
the freak shows,
no,
and how they were somebody too. They deserved. You don't remember that? It was like one of the
I
biggest
didn't see
movies.
it. I didn't see it. But you're saying there was a bearded lady in said movie who sang a song? Is
Like,
that what you're trying
and
to say?
yes, like from The
Uh,
Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman. You haven't
no,
seen it?
no,
Eunice. Not
please.
no no listen, Eunice.
Really?
Not
You're gonna
just
make
so
this
you
a
can see.
required viewing for
Listen,
me?
not just because it's got a bearded lady, but it is
But
a really good movie. It's
okay,
a really, really good movie. Yeah.
okay.
So
I'll
check it
think about
out.
it. I'll take it
Definitely
under
check it out.
consideration.
It's worth your
Okay,
time.
so listeners and viewers, this is how he suggests that I learn the song that goes along with my affliction. This is cute. Anyway,
No,
now it's your
I
weekend.
honestly think you might get some material from it because then you'll say, but then I saw The Greatest Showman and the bearded
Okay.
lady just was a bit much. So I don't know if we're embracing that. But anyway,
Okay.
you
How was
seem
your
to have
weekend?
had
Yeah,
an
so
eventful
when last we spoke, you were getting ready to launch
mm,
your latest
music
single and
video.
video.
Yes.
And so now it has
Yeah, the
been
music video.
launched. I have questions for you. I have questions.
So
Tell me how you feel, how it went.
The song indeed has been launched, and the music video is currently premiered now on Vivo and also on YouTube. Make sure you get there. Now that's major on YouTube. Now that's major wherever you search. Look for I. Ah, yes. I just want to
Okay.
I want to thank God. I want to thank my mother. I'd like to thank all of
Have you
you.
won an award yet
Yes,
to give a
I
speech?
prayed for you.
Have you won an award that I
I'll
can
say
see you
this.
practice your acceptance speech?
I have practiced my acceptance speech so many times. I am heavily nominated. Grammy, 2-time
So it's
Soul
just a matter
Train,
of time.
8-time Image Award nominated. Listen. I'll just say this, even for our
You're
show.
ready.
As a matter of fact, I think that's a perfect segue. Listen, they submitted our show for consideration for Image Awards, The Hope in Between, for lifestyle
What?
podcasts. So who knows? Wouldn't that be something if my first official win of the
That would be
awards on
something.
that level would be for this show? But also,
For
I
this?
prayed for you,
Yeah.
and the music video have been submitted as well. So if you happen to be on the voting committee for the Image Awards, think Major, think The Hope in Between, think Eunice Elliott, and show us love. Our podcast, my song, and my music video are all up for consideration. That would be amazing.
He has a speech ready. He has a speech ready, y'all. Let's give him an opportunity to give this speech. Please. So we're both artistes, we're both creators, but it's totally different from if I debut some new material or a new joke. I'm able to kind of get real time feedback like, oh, okay, that didn't really hit, or okay, I might need to add a little bit more to explain so they can get it, or I can kind of play with it before I feel like either this is a new bit that's going to stay in my show or not. Now, the reverse, you've done the production, you've done the video, you've done all the work, and now you present this baby fully done to your likings and your specifications. Is there a higher or is there a greater attachment to the feedback? Or is it, hey, it's what I love. If you love it, oh well. Like, how do you feel when you debut a new baby?
I don't think I've ever gotten to the point of if you don't love it, oh well. Like I don't think I'll ever arrive there because it does matter to me because at the end of the day, while it is outlet for me to share what's on my heart, the intention is it for it to connect with another
Mm-hmm.
heart. And
Mm-hmm.
often something that I share as I even worked in confidence coaching, which is a part of my foundation. That's one of the programs is I tell people what comes from heart reaches heart. So come from the most authentic place and it will connect. And so for me, that's the goal. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to inspire, I wanted to lift, and it's seemingly doing so. I'm extremely independent in this season, which is a little tough because the
Mm-hmm.
financial investment is a lot. So I'm feeling it, but it's also a bit more gratifying when you realize that it's not in vain. It's
Yeah.
connecting. And from
Mm-hmm.
radio to fans to TV, the people that are embracing it. BET did the premiere on last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So what people say and what people um, critique, how they critique, it matters to me, and I love it when the intention is received and embraced.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. So thank
Um,
you.
that's too stressful for me. I think having a fully formed package that I put out into the world. I mean, I still have not recorded a special or, had that TV show premiere or that movie premiere that will happen. So I haven't had that moment yet of having something packaged with my love and saying, "Okay, receive it." On stage it's a live engagement, so I can turn it up as needed or turn it down depending on that immediate feedback. So I look forward to I was gonna say thrusting a baby into the world, but that wasn't okay. Let's just move on. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thrusting yourself forward with all of the goodness and the newness that
there
you
you go.
are
There you
producing and
go.
working on. This weekend, I also I was in Cleveland. I was the special guest artist for a movement for women called the Sister Accord. A young lady named Sonia Miles. She is a professional in the brand space, but she has committed her life work to amplifying sisterhood and togetherness and empowerment of women on all levels. And I watched in real time how this fellowship and this movement spotlighted women from various different experiences, which is not always normal. Oftentimes, when you have these communities, it's a certain group and it's a certain group here. And not to knock that, but to see an organization that sees the youngest and the the less financially uh apt,
Mhm.
individual, like it was wild to see two $10,000 scholarships given.
Oh
And
wow.
it was just a powerful weekend. Shout out to that movement. Met this lady named Iris, who's this incredible fitness lady. There was one statement, and I'm going to share this. One of the takeaway phrases of the day was a quote from a lady named Norlin Story. She's a financial literacy expert, really brilliant. But she said, when we choose collaboration over competition, we create community.
Mm.
It was so well
Yeah.
stated, and it was a bar, a gym. But to connect to that, once we then create community, we then allow ourselves to experience the fullness of purpose, because life was never meant to be done alone, and it was
Mm.
never to just benefit the giver of the thing. It was to benefit all of us, because if everybody's giving, nobody's left empty. So that was a really special weekend. So I even brought that up because they surprised me with an award as well, as an
Oh.
ally of supporting women. So I got to work on my big stage award acceptance speech there. I'm getting these community awards more
Mhm.
recently, and that feels really amazing. So I did give a pretty good speech. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. I guess I don't think of you. I use the terminology as an ally for women. One of my friends who watches or listens to the podcast, she said, "I can tell you don't hate him." I said, "Girl, I don't." And he is literally a man. So thank you for that. Thank you for
I'm
that.
an advocate. I'm an advocate for
Yes.
sure.
And you know
Ally.
what? And you're not performative. I don't feel like you're performative in
No,
your
this is
advocacy and
sincere.
support of women. And I appreciate that because anybody can say anything. I feel like you walk the walk, you talk the talk. And like I said, I am hyper vigilant of keeping as many negative influences out of my life as possible. And a big chunk of that were MEN. And so my friends can say, "Wow, look at you." So
So
thank
I'll
you.
say this. You're welcome.
Thank you for not
No,
sucking. I appreciate
listen,
that.
right.
And
But
wait, and
no,
something else I saw you posted that wasn't an award, it wasn't a community event, it wasn't your single. You just look too adorable in a new Christmas film coming out. I said, "Look at you! What
yo,
is this?
yo,
Tell me."
listen, I'm super excited. A Heart for Christmas is the new Christmas movie that I am in. It is super good. It's out now. It's on Roku, Tubi, and Pluto TV, all outlets and platforms that I had to learn about. But
Yes,
y'all, if you don't
a
have those
heart for
platforms, get them.
Christmas.
It
Okay.
is they are very accessible. It
Hmm.
is free. Pluto TV and Tubi are free services. Tubi is like apparently one of the leading streaming services right now,
Yeah, it is.
and
It is.
but yeah, it's really great acting. Taja V. Simpson from the Oval, Nakiva, she's from Insecure. You may have seen her on Insecure and some other shows. And Maurice Hall, who's an OSU football legend. He wrote, produced, and starred in it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and a young lady named Annie Gonzalez. She's super talented. She's opposite me in it, but your boy is doing his good acting, and
Well,
it's a
let me
good movie.
say, you posted a very, very short clip and you went by in just a second, but I was like, okay, he is in his position in
Yeah,
whatever this is he's doing. You looked like that's how you should look doing something.
come on. Hey, I
You
love
know,
that.
you like, oh, you look like how you would look if you was doing what you was supposed to be doing. That's what you look
Abs-
like in that.
I,
So I
I
can't wait
mean,
to check it out.
I'm studied,
Yeah,
Eunice.
I can't wait. I
I'm not
cannot
just
wait.
a singer. I am studied at this acting thing. I have look at my IMDb. Stop playing with your
Well,
boy.
no,
Your
I
boy been
know,
in
but
here.
I'm saying it's still fun. It's still fun to not have to lie to your friends when you're excited about something for them. So thank you for that.
Woo! That means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for that.
you. So
I
let's
wouldn't have
get it.
brought it up. I wouldn't have brought it up if I wasn't truly excited. Okay, good for you.
Absolutely. So
A heart
let's
for
get
Christmas.
into our theme for today. And I already
Let's.
know this is going to be good.
So let me say this.
Eunice, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
say this how we put this show together. Now, I produce
Hmm.
the show, and every week I say, "Is there anything you want to talk about?" And sometimes he might let me kind of just give the topic or theme. Sometimes he may have something. So this week he responded immediately when I said, "Is anything on your heart?" And he said, uh, "The theme." I'm gonna let him introduce the theme. And what is so funny is I am in this in is it a challenge or I'm in the midst of trying to figure that answer out. So what is the theme? And maybe you can give me the answer I have not figured out for myself. Go ahead. What are we talking about?
Beautiful people. The theme for today is how to handle disrespect.
I ain't figured it out.
How to handle disrespect. This is going to be good. Wherever you're listening, lean in because I do believe we're going to drop some gems that will be helpful, some relatable experiences that will be relief for you that think that you are alone in this thing. But life is full of disrespect, and we want to talk about how you handle it all.
So why did you want to talk about that this week? Was this inspired by something you're dealing with?
Every day. every every single day. Every single day.
Okay. Now wait.
Rem-
But let me ask you: do you
okay.
feel like you're being disrespected every day, or are you being disrespected? Because I think there's a difference between feeling disrespected and being disrespected.
I think both. I think at the end of the day, not everybody knows that they're not being disrespected if they feel disrespected. I think oftentimes people disrespect without having. Ooh, you in a lane. I knew this was going to be a good topic because I want to even talk right to that. When a person feels disrespected, it is not always as a result of your intention to disrespect them. If a person says, yo, that was disrespectful what you just did, oftentimes it is not the goal of you to make them feel that way. And if it is, shame on you, but it is not always the goal. Often people feel disrespected because we have established a level of expectation on how we are to engage or experience whatever we are ultimately disrespected by. And so when that expectation isn't met, you're left with what is called offense or seeming disrespect. But I will say this, please give yourself and the offender some grace. A lot of times, I think more often than not, people don't mean to offend or to disrespect as much as you may feel it. And what's going to help you in life is for you to lower the expectations of people and things. You're probably shocked that I'm even saying this, Eunice, after how
I'm
we've
writing it
spoken
down. I'm writing it
before.
down. Stand
But
by. I'm writing it down. Mm-hmm.
but lower but lower the expectations.
Continue.
Don't have it
Continue.
so tight and don't have it so tight and extreme to where people can't make mistakes. But yeah, like this life is full of
Okay.
disrespect,
So let
and
me
it's
let
going to
me let
continue to
me let me.
disrespect you.
I'm gonna take some exception to what you said. I
Hmm.
personally believe that disrespect is less attached to expectation and more attached to ego.
Oh, absolutely.
So a lot of times,
Did you
if
think
you
we were
think
going
about,
to disagree there?
I don't know, but I'm saying because you think of, if you think of, and unfortunately, in a lot of our communities, a lot of violence is beget by someone felt disrespected, and a lot of times that is their ego that has been injured in some way, and so now I must cause you bodily harm, injury, or death because my ego has been injured in some way. Okay, now to me, it takes a lot for me to feel disrespected. And I think that might be a byproduct of being a Black woman in America. I would not want to
Hmm.
feel as disrespected as I probably am on a daily basis. I wouldn't want to feel that all
Mm.
the time. So I think I probably have some blind spots and some barriers up just to protect my peace. But by the time I
Yeah.
feel disrespected, I am already on Mach 10 on how I'm gonna get you. Because for me to feel
Mm.
disrespected, I assume you don't know how to handle me when I walk in the room. So my expectation is very low. There's no way you know how to honor what's about to happen in my presence. So I'm not even going to hold that against you. But if I actually feel disrespected, I know based on my own tolerance for it, I have an intolerance for it, but my own acceptance of it as just, as part of the wind, as part of the atmosphere in general, as a Black woman, I'm going to get you. So when you say, how do you handle disrespect? I'm curious as how you handle it And do you handle it the way you think you should? I'll tell you how I handle it. I'm gonna tell you how I handle it first, because I know you're not gonna agree with me.
Let's go.
I'm currently in a situation. So that's when you offered this as a conversation. I said, "Ooh, okay." I'm currently in a situation where I'm kind of feeling a little disrespected,
Mm.
and I'm picking up what some folks are putting down around me. And this is how I usually handle it. If you feel I'm a dime a dozen, good luck with the other 11. I'm out.
Ooh. Let that sit right there.
I'm not going to be talking to you about me. So if you feel like this is something, this situation, all of it is something that's replaceable, not valuable, not unique, not special, and so you don't need to act no kind of way that matches that, good luck with that. And I don't stay around long. I have quit every job I've ever had because one day I came in and I said, they don't know how to love me. Let me fix it for them.
Mm.
Let me
And so
fix it.
your fix it was your exit.
That's it. That's how I fix it. Now, is that
Wow.
not the right answer? But that is how I fix it. It can be a
Well,
relationship, it can be a friendship, it can be a job, it can be a room, it can be an event. I fix it by my exit. Yes.
okay. So I will say this. I do believe that certain circumstances require you having to fix it with your exit. But I don't think that all circumstances require it. And I don't think that most circumstances require it.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot more in life that we are purposed to endure, that we, one, learn from it for ourselves, but also show other people that they got the wrong one. And also showing people that because people treat you the way that you allow them to treat you
Mhm.
ultimately.
Mhm.
And that's not saying the immediate, like they continue to, I want to clarify it more specifically. People continue to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Because a person can, on the onset, just disrespect you and you haven't given them any allowance yet. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I do believe that if we run from mishandling or disrespect in general, what we will find ourselves doing is missing a lot of learning curves. I mean, missing a lot of learning benefits, missing a lot of things that will show and expose to the offender or the disrespecter. I can change them and challenge them to be better. Um,
That's not my ministry.
I think I definitely know that you don't feel like you want to do that much anymore. I don't know. Are you clarifying that there was a time that you probably endured?
Never.
Or are you saying you never did? Okay, so what I'm doing with that clarification is challenging you not to always meet it with an exit. Because
Mhm.
I really do believe, and this is something that I've learned in marriage, and it's a tough teacher,
Mhm.
that a lot of times people don't know how they are disrespecting you, or to the degree of how they're disrespecting you, until it is fully addressed, and until you help them learn how to treat you in a way that shows you the respect that meets your okay. And I think that one of the things that happens is because we have grown up in spaces where we're like, well, they should know better. So if they're disrespecting me, it's their problem, peace. But a lot of people have grown up in environments that have a different language that's different than ours, have a different style and tone that's different. And if you only choose to see them and accept them based on the limitation of your experience, you will only go but so far. Because
But
what
see,
you're
but the flip side of that, though, I receive what you're saying, and I think especially in romantic relationships, you got to figure that thing out for sure.
not just
Okay.
romantic. I was just saying I learned it in marriage. I'm saying it in
I'm not gonna figure it out in no other context.
yes, you have to. You have
I'm
to
not.
because
Not.
yes, yes, you
I'm not.
will, and you will, because I'm
Let
gonna
me
be
tell you
praying
why. Let
for
me
it.
tell you why. Because it's
I'm gonna
not
be
even that I
praying
think you
for
should know better. Okay, you do that. It's not even so much
it.
that I think you should know better. Because I at this point I know common sense ain't common. So I actually know most people don't
That's my
know better.
point.
But that's not
Yes.
it. But that's not what my exit is not contingent upon. You should have known better. My exit is usually contingent upon you didn't get that from me. So why are you giving it to me? So
Th-
for me, it's a if I was respectful and you were disrespectful, if I was communicative, if I was all the things that I want and you found something else to be, then no, I'm not going to try to raise an adult. I'm not going to try to teach an adult how to be. So for me, the exit is usually based on, oh wow, you should know better. No, it's oh you don't know better. So let me protect myself. I'm now, maybe at some point in my life, I can't remember it now, but I'm sure maybe in my 20s, I probably thought that I could help people see how to be better versions of themselves. That's not my ministry anymore. And so a lot of times, like I said, right now in the current situation I'm dealing in, I'm working through who will my exit harm? Like, am I cutting my nose off to spite my face, kind of thing? Who would the exit harm more, myself or them? For me, I always feel like it's going to harm the person that is missing me. But I'm aware now that, okay, how do I manage the situation where I feel like there is a disconnect between who I am, what I bring to the table, and how I'm being dealt with, and the other side of that, which in their world, the assumption is everything's fine. This is okay to be this way. Right.
So let me
And
ask you this. So
yes,
let me
please.
ask you this. Do you communicate the feeling of your disrespect to the disrespecter, or do you just exit without giving them any clarity?
I don't communicate feelings. I communicate facts because I don't expect people to manage their lives based on how I feel. Everybody's feelings are fickle, right? But I'm saying logistically, if we said 5 o'clock and it's 7:30, and you don't see a problem with it being 7:30 when we agreed to 5 o'clock, I won't do anything else with you. Now, am I going to say, hey, but we said 5 o'clock? And it's been 2.5 hours, you know what I'm saying? So for me, no, I'm not going to over communicate or even communicate the issue. It's, hey, but this was agreed upon. So for me, especially in a professional situation, there's professional courtesy, professional respect. And so things like time, money, all those things that have been agreed upon before you enter into the relationship, I'm going to bring it up and say, hey, can we make sure that we do XYZ, as we talked about? After that's met with, oh, well, we'll do it however we see fit. That's when I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, of course, of course. Now, listen. You got to make sure that you share the context of why you
Yes.
would choose to do it. Because if someone has literally said, "I am not going to regard what we agreed on," that's different. There's a communication that happened where it was clarified that this is the expectation. Please meet it, and if you don't, of course, you
But
move
again,
accordingly.
but
But
aren't all relationships, even if it's not professional, is there's not saying expectation, but there's an understanding that, okay, let's say you and I have an agreement. We don't have anything on paper that say we'll be respectful of each other or do what we say we're going to do. But if one of us was dropping the ball and disregarding the other's time and energy and contribution, it would be like, now do I have to talk to you about this?
yes, yes.
What am I say?
Yes, I think, and I definitely sense that it's from jaded experiences that have you to the point where you're like, listen, I don't. People are grown, like they're gonna do what
Right,
they're
we're
gonna do,
adults.
and
Right.
and I don't need to baby someone into an understanding. But I really do believe that the point of communication, which is a skill set of the mature, is to actually clarify. Use your words to clarify what you are feeling. Now, I'm not saying you are saying this to be coddled with your feelings, but feelings do matter in every transaction, in every relational dynamic. You have feelings. And it has
Hmm.
to be said if you do not feel good while in it, regardless of how much of the professional commitments are kept, or the professional expectations are kept, you still have feelings in this because humans are involved. And I think that that's one of the benefits of what the pandemic brought us. It showed humanity, like in the workplace. It made us have to stop and just get away from bottom lines being the most important, versus how are these people that are involved in this exchange feeling? Because at the end of the day, I can't expect from someone who is broken, who's offended, who feels belittled, who does not feel valued, who doesn't feel respected. That has to be clarified. And oftentimes we think that a person should know better, but a lot of people did not grow up with clear communicators. We talk. Your mama talks. Your mama uses her language. That's a gift that a lot of people don't have the benefit of having. My mama uses her words. We've talked about my exchange with her.
Hmm.
She uses her words. And at the end of the day, we are better because we use our words. But there's a lot of people that don't come from that. And if they are fortunate enough to move in business spaces or friendship spaces with someone like you, I would ask that not to the level of you're tolerating perpetual disrespect, but if you address the disrespect as it hits, you communicate, this is something I'm not okay with. Give them an opportunity to course correct and see where the benefit of that relationship is going to take you. I think that that's going to serve you better in a lot of these spaces, because you're too special. You're too special. It is what it is. I'm seeing it. And I don't want you exiting every time these jokers do this crap, because disrespect is almost inevitable. Like, a lot of
Right,
people don't realize it.
a certain level, right? That's what I'm saying. Just by being who I am, a certain level of it just rolls off my back. Hey, this is what it is. I see what this is, right? Even today, I was in the store and I was in line.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a cash register and then there's someone checking out, and then I'm standing there. And
Yeah.
someone walked up and asked me, "Are you in line?" Now, in that moment, I didn't feel like that was a question. That what this white gentleman could have done was stood behind me and he would have figured out I was in line. But instead, he went to the front of the line, which I was next to be serviced, and asked me, was I in line? That's all day, every day, right? That's nothing to get a rise out of me. I've noted and see it, sir. Get behind me. Stop playing. Don't do that. Don't. Okay, let's just have a good day. But in business and in friendships, I've had several friendships that I have never spoken to the person again because I felt disrespected. I communicated to them how I felt like they disrespected me, and they doubled down on the disrespect. Well, at that point, there's really nothing else
That
that's tolerable.
all I wanted to make clear was communication
Yes.
a part
Yes.
of it before you made
Yes.
your exit. Because
Yes.
when we first talked, when you first said it, the way in which you worded it was as if disrespect, exit.
No, no,
And
no.
it
Okay,
was,
let me
and so
say,
yeah,
if I
yeah,
feel disrespected, I'll say, I'm feeling a certain kind of way about
yes.
XYZ. Now you know me well enough to know I'm going to say, what?
Yeah,
That kind of made me feel a certain kind of way when you said or did that. And then when the person says, well, because da da da, da, oh, okay. At that
right.
point, I can fix this. Not a
Absolutely.
problem. So that's what I'm
And
saying. There is the initial. And so the situation I'm dealing with, I sent an email for clarity. Hey, real quick. Do you think maybe we can do XYZ as we had agreed upon? And it's kind of an industry standard. And it'd probably be best for me for sure if we did it like this. And it was met with, well, I don't know about industry standard, but this is how we're going to do it.
oh wow,
So
okay.
I thought, well, you should probably figure out how to do it without me then. That's my thought. Now I haven't communicated that. That's just what swelled up in my spirit was, oh,
Woo.
okay.
I want, have you ever, just on a funny note, have you ever received a text that was so disrespectful from first read, and you were about to go in and then something says
Read it again.
backspace,
Read it
backspace,
again.
backspace. And literally it ends up coming off differently when
No,
you
yes.
revisit it differently
Mhm.
and
Yes.
at a different time. And I
Yes.
really do think that
That has happened.
that's why even biblically it says, don't be quick to anger,
Mhm.
but be quick to listen, to hear, because one of the things that happens often is our emotions go immediately to the last familiar experience that was anything remotely, and it says you need to respond this way so that you don't feel like what you once felt.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I think for the person listening, and I'm sorry if I kind of sound like I'm yelling, I'm just really passionate
Because you
about
are.
us moving in a space that helps us and heals
Mhm.
us and grows us.
Mhm.
um Take a moment, literally, to catch your breath before you even respond to the offense, to the disrespect. Consider, is what is happening warranted? One, do I know my worth in this? Two, and three, whatever I choose to say, is it worth saying? Is it worth saying? And how will it impact me after it's been said or done? Think of
I
those
agree.
three things.
I agree. And let me tell
Yeah.
you something. I did all three of them things.
Hmm.
And my spirit still swelled all the way up. So here's the thing. When they responded to that email and doubled down with, "Oh well, this is how we're going to do it." I had a litany of things I could have said in response. Okay. I
Absolutely.
didn't. I just said, yes, I would like to do it the way I asked to be. Because in all the ways they said, we're going to do it this way, they said, but if you require this, I said, yes, I do require that. Thank you so much. And that's what I said.
Beautiful.
Yes, that's what I require. But I
Beautiful.
wanted
But
to say,
listen,
well, first of all, and secondly, and then thirdly,
beautiful,
and most importantly,
beautiful to you for saying, for taking a moment to see it again, because we do get caught off guard. But this is going to help a lot of us because we're in a very sensitive time where we can see how somebody says something and you're just like, what? Like we hear it in a tone that is like it's real disrespectful, and sometimes it takes you stepping back to collect yourself, reread it again, and figure out a way. Let me help you. Let me help you with how we gonna do this. And I'm telling you, it works. I know you to be a
let me ask you a
very
question.
intelligent
Okay,
human
this is a
being.
test.
Yeah.
This is a test. This is a test for you. This is a test for you. You are a performer. Now, this is a hypothetical,
Hmm.
but real. When you perform,
I wouldn't be
do you
surprised if
plan
it
on
actually happened.
settling up? Right. If when you perform, you've agreed to perform for a certain amount of money, and there's an agreement that if you do this performance in this way, you'll get this amount of money. That's the agreement. In comedy, I don't know about music, but a lot of times you settled up that night for the agreement. You did what you said, and maybe there was a deposit paid in advance, and the final payment is made because you did what you said, and then we leave and we on to the next thing. Okay.
Right.
If there is a hang up on my money, we already got a problem. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna be too. I'm not gonna try to see your side of it if it involves money. So this for me involves money, and beyond the industry standard, this group of people had already set the standard of handing me a check at said time. It's just sometimes they don't have it, but they've done it more than 3 times. But sometimes they don't have it, and they say, "Oh, we'll get it to you tomorrow. We'll Zelle it, whatever." Okay, cool. So in this particular situation, 2 days had gone by, and I said, "Well, man, I just feel crazy asking somebody for my money." I feel insane. So I said, "Hey, moving forward, can we have a set time that certain things are done so that way we know that it's done and we all move on to the next thing?" And that's when I was met back with, "Oh well, we'll do it when we do it." Now, I can't just show up and perform whenever I feel like it. I can't
So
just pick a
that's
different
when
day because it'll be a different day would be better for me.
this
I
is
can't
this
take more
is
time.
this is the turbulence and the nature
Mhm.
of the beast when you represent yourself.
Mhm. Yes, yes, very true.
When you have a manager handling those things, they handle them and they address them for you and they put
Yes.
out the fires that you don't know. This is a plight of the independent, the
Mhm.
plight of the small business owner, the plight of the entrepreneur. And I
Mhm.
will say, catch your breath on that, but do establish boundaries. Communicate your boundaries and
Mhm.
communicate when boundaries are crossed so that there is no confusion on why you chose to fix it with your exit
Mm-hmm.
or why you chose to respond in the way that you did. I just recently did a post on my page where I talked about, I said, if I were dead, would you support me?
I saw that.
Well, well, I'm not dead. So can you
I saw that.
please in real time support me so I can see and receive it? Because
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes what happens is people, they don't take the dynamic and the access to you as value. They don't take it as it is as special as what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
access to any bit of God's creation is a privilege. It
That
is a
part.
privilege. You are literally accessing the creator's workmanship. So don't mishandle it. Don't be a disrespecter. Never should you rise up and choose out of all things you can choose to be a disrespecter, because I guarantee you the return for such seed is going to be just as ugly, if not worse, for you. So, to the people that delight in being offenders and just saying it like it is or whatever, you might want to course correct now, because I guarantee you life is going to get ugly for you and you don't want that. And to the people that are extra sensitive, I would say understand that we are all living in a life where life is lifing, it is doing what it does, and it is challenging us all. Not everything is meant to offend you. Not everything is meant to disrespect you or not acknowledge your worth. But use your voice after you have taken a moment to catch your breath, recognize your value, and then really think, could this have been seen in another way? Is there another perspective that I could be considering in this moment? And once you've done that and you've collected the information on that, then move and don't apologize for doing it with pure intention. That's what I want to give you.
That's beautiful, man. That sounds beautiful. Can I add in one more little part?
Yeah, hurry up because we got to end this podcast. But yes.
Let me add one little part in. And also, I felt like the disrespect
Oh,
was. Yeah,
you're still
I'm telling
talking
you.
about that jerk. You forward me the email because
And
I will.
also, I feel like, oh, you thought I had moved on from that just then? No, I love what you said. But another thing, and then another part of me in this season, I be feeling like I know who you voted for. So I be feeling like you playing in my face.
Listen, Eunice, it's going to be full of the people that vote against
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it
decency
was, oh,
and
you
the
think you
obvious
deserve
way
this
of rightness.
professional courtesy and respect? You'll be happy with whatever we do. I'll tell you more offline. I ain't gonna say it all on here because I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
you
yeah,
the
yeah.
truth.
But
And then you
listen,
know what?
beautiful
Let's just do
people.
this. Let's do this. I'm gonna tell you all the facts offline. And in next week's episode, you get to react to what I told you. And maybe you might be in the same place, or you might say, hey,
Let me
listeners,
no,
I
let
changed
me
my
tell you
mind.
this. Let me tell you this.
You
Let me
might say,
make
hey,
this
y'all, she
clear.
told me everything offline. I changed my mind. I'm with her.
In the event that people are confused, never am I saying to tolerate disrespect.
You use the word
I
endure. You use the word endure a
endure,
couple of times. And
tolerate, and
I'm not an
enduring. Hear
endurer.
me, hear me. I also said to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
communicate how you feel about what is happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just abort because you cannot heal what you don't reveal, what you don't deal with. So you have to acknowledge it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I am not the one, two or three, to be disrespected perpetually and intentionally. Nope. And I
Because
will
I was
help
gonna
you
bring up
find,
that car service that
I
time.
will help you find a better way to handle me and to handle yourself in matters ongoing, whether I'm a
Mm-hmm.
part of them or not.
Okay.
But I do believe that oftentimes, if we shift perspective, we will have less accounts of hurt
Mhm.
feelings, offenses, and disrespect, so long as we do
Mhm.
not make it personal every single time. But disrespect exists, and disrespect needs to be addressed. We're not going for it. Beautiful people, I'm going to tap into this message. It's a pep talk before we call it a day, because
Mhm.
this was really good, Eunice. I want to say great job. Play the clap track on this one, because we deserve some applause on getting through this.
I know.
Well done on yet another episode of the hope in between. But before I go, I want to leave the good people with this. Okay, I want to say you're great. So here's some motivation for you. You're great, like really great. And I'm not just saying that just to say something, because the truth is, you are truly great. And can't nobody, no one, not a single person can do what you do like you do it. It's just fact. You're an original. Your great extraordinary self is one of a kind. And I guarantee you, if you simply own, embrace the fullness of this truth, apply it to whatever task at hand, you will see that what you bring is great. Now is the time to rise up boldly in all of that greatness. Could you be better? Absolutely. Will you be better? Absolutely. However, as you are right now is more than enough to get the job now and to get it done. Step into this present moment, y'all, and greet it with all of you. Don't deny a single ounce of how special you are. Accept all of it, use all of it, and win with all of it. You, oh great one, you got this with your great self. Now I'm calling respect on that one. Beautiful people, my name is Major. This is my girl, my sister, Eunice Elliott, and this is our podcast, The Hope in Between. Enjoy your week. Be blessed. Catch your breath and tell them haters we ain't about to be disrespected no more.
Okay.
Communicate it. Okay.
That part.
That
I
was
see you
fun,
there.
Eunice. All right. Peace out, my sister.
Peace.